Ready.
Okay. Welcome to Let Black Women Speak on the podcast. I'm Whitney,
And I'm Tasha.
and we're going to be discussing the topic of picking up where ancestors left off, starting with the topic of how can we build back our generational wealth. So, what do you think are some good ways of us building back our generational wealth?
I would say entrepreneurship for sure. Um,
Uh-huh.
I would say that's the fastest way.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, that's what I believe. Working on our credit, building our credit, starting
Yeah.
businesses, starting to support each other's businesses, and investing
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think that it would be good if we got back into sharecropping and farming as well, because a lot of our ancestors, that's how they were winning back then. We provided the produce, we
Mm-hmm.
provided foods, um, and that's really, you know, was the start of a lot of black wealth, as well as entrepreneurship. Those are the two things that we need to get back to. If you got a skill, if you're good at cutting grass, cutting hair, doing hair, um, if you're good at creating things, sewing, um,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you're good at, I would say turn it into a business. Um, in Kansas City and where I'm at on the West Coast, there is a organization called SCORE.
Mm-hmm.
Look SCORE up. It helps small business owners. Um, they have classes. I take classes still from out of Kansas City SCORE all the time online.
Mm-hmm.
They have classes on how to start a small business, marketing, financials, just all kinds of stuff. Uh, I would say look into your local small business programs. Go to your libraries. Go to FEC.
Mm-hmm.
What's another place down in Kansas City? Um,
It's some places like KC Bizcare that
yes,
they
Casey
have
is
here,
here. Yep.
downtown Kansas City, and the KC Source Link, where you
Yep.
can get
Casey Source.
free resources talking to accountants and lawyers and all that business information you get for free.
Yep,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
a good one too.
When I lived in Kansas City, my husband owned a cleaning service in a restaurant, Nate's and Sons Cafe, if you guys remember. Right before he got sick and passed, I ran a multiple daycares up in North Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I got all my resources from Link, KC, Source, and what was the other one you said?
The
The one
KC
that
Source Link and KC Bizcare.
BizCare for sure. They helped me with my licensing. They helped me with the LLC. They helped me with everything. So it's really, you don't have to be college grad. You
Mm-hmm.
don't even have to be a high school grad. Just you use your skill, whatever your skill may be. If your grandpa taught you how to fix a tire, you can open a tire shop. If you only knew how much a tire shop made, trucking business, if you like to drive,
Mm-hmm.
delivery service, car services, um,
Right.
repairing bikes, repairing lawnmowers. If say you like to put up TVs, like when people buy stuff and they don't know how to put it together,
Mm-hmm.
you can open a business where you come and you do that. Like it's so
Right.
much with women, makeup, lashes, clothing, daycare, um, Organics. I have an online store. Check it out, abostore.online. I sell herbs, teas, different teas, accessories,
Mm-hmm.
uh, food trucks. I have a food truck. I have a cleaning service as well. Cleaning, it never goes out of business. Never. If you good at cleaning,
Right.
you can get commercial sites, you can do residential. If your commercial is slow, you switch over to residential. Um, there's companies that subcontract
Mm-hmm.
individual services. So it's always ways. You can go on Craigslist, post your businesses, Thumbtack, uh, Nextdoor. Um, what are some other places you can market your businesses?
Um, Social media is number one for marketing yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody's on social media all day long, and it's free. Free advertisement there, unless you pay for the sponsor ads. Um, yeah, I think social media is one of the best ways to get yourself out there. You
Yep,
know,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yep. So I would just say to peers, black community, brown community, start your businesses. If you're good at landscaping,
yeah,
um, whatever you're good at, turn it into a business. You're good at cooking, start selling plates. Start saving your money. If you're working a job, put aside a couple $100 and start buying equipment. You know, it's you
mm-hmm.
can rent a food truck. You know, my husband blessed me, so I was able to buy a food truck. But I when I was looking into the food truck business, you can rent a food truck.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even have to purchase it. So if you cook, look into companies that rent out food trailers. Um, Barber, you could be a barber if you cut hair. I mean, it's so many different businesses.
It is,
So it's
yeah,
just really not being lazy, not being stuck in your ways, and turning whatever your work is into a business because
mm-hmm.
that's what's going to build the wealth up faster.
Right,
A job, I mean, be honest, you might make a couple of extra hundred, maybe 500 every
mm-hmm.
check. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's unlimited. You can make 3,000 extra a month, 5,000 extra a month. Like it's unlimited on how much more you can make. And with that money, you can be putting it into investments. You can be buying rental properties. You can be
Mm-hmm.
investing in stocks and different things like that,
Right,
tripling your money. So I would say entrepreneurship is the main thing for people of color and small because we are the biggest consumers. So picture if we start saving and flipping our money.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. And one thing I think is really important is Black people learning to invest in stocks and mutual funds and the crypto. We got to get into it. You know, white people been doing it for years. They know the game. You know,
Not
first
even
people were
white.
sold on the stock market was who? Black people, right? Yeah. So it's money in the stocks. Investing your money in something when you ain't got to work for it. Let your money grow and build your money up. You know, getting that residual income.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important. And apps like Robinhood, I have that app and it teaches you everything that you need to know about investing. So people that are new to investing, I think should download Robinhood and do your research on there. You can learn about everything. They have their own little dictionary of investments, what each little word means, and it just breaks it down to you. But also life insurance. That's a
Yes.
big thing when it comes to generational wealth. When someone dies, death is something that's going to happen no matter what. But that money from when someone dies could be something to build a family back up.
Yeah.
Money for businesses, money to pay the house off, money to pay cars off, all of that. Get
Yeah.
you out of debt, put you back on your feet.
Yeah.
Money that can be saved for your kids,
Absolutely.
grandkids, all of that. So that's a good thing as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and in the black community for sure, guys, we gotta start putting life insurance. Like it is
Mm-hmm.
embarrassing. It is so embarrassing when you have to sell plates on the corner to bury
Right.
your family member. Like, I literally paid like under $50. Well, my father's is a little bit more expensive because my father and mothers are expensive because they're older. So
Mm-hmm.
they're like $25 a month. But for me and my kids, I think I'm like $8, and my kids are like $5 or $6.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, you literally spending under $100 a month. Like, really be honest with yourself. We spend that on going out to eat,
Mm-hmm.
like a
Right.
$100 a month to make sure everybody in your family is insured, and then your parents. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of four children for my mother and one of 10 children for my father. So my portion is just to make sure that my father already has life insurance, but my portion is just to make sure everything's covered. So, and then me and my brother, we have an agreement. I'm the oldest daughter, and my brother is the oldest brother. So our agreement, yeah, I mean, he makes a lot of money. So his thing
Mm-hmm.
is just gonna pay it cash. I mean, if you have it like that, you can, but
Mm-hmm.
our thing is we're just gonna go, if my father does, if we do need to pay for his burial, we're just gonna go half. And I don't want to come out of 5 to 7 grand cash. I'd rather not. So for me, I'm just gonna pay for a life insurance policy. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, my brother, he has it like that. He's a very educated, blessed man. So, if he can take the 7 grand out his bank, toodles. But for me, I'm gonna do life insurance. I'm gonna do
Man.
life insurance, and
Right.
and I'm gonna let them cover it, and that's that with both of my
Mm-hmm.
parents. But make sure that you can bury your grandparents. Make sure you can bury your mother and your father. And if something happens to your uncles and aunties, even if you don't
Yeah.
have a policy, it's good to always have money in the bank. My goal is I try to at least minimum, guys. This is minimum. Always try to have a grand. Dave Ramsey says, like, always have a grand stored away for emergencies. If
Mm-hmm.
if you can't have 5 to 10 grand, so be it. At least tax season come, put away a grand.
Mm-hmm.
Stimulus checks come, put away a grand. If you make
Mm-hmm.
some extra money, bonuses to work, at least put away $1,000. And
Yeah.
that's a good start for people of color in the brown community.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and grandmother, she was just amazing. God bless her soul, Ursa Williams. She really was a good saver. She would have envelopes, and she would write on the envelopes, like, this is the bill money, this is savings, and she would just have envelopes in the house tucked away. Like my brother-in-law, he went to jail for a couple of years. And when he got out, she literally had all his money still in the same envelope from 2 or 3 years. Racks, a lot of money.
Really?
Racks, girl.
That's
Just
what's
say,
up, though.
and that's how we have to be. We have to be like our grandparents. Like,
Yeah.
they knew how to put away for a rainy day. And I
Yeah.
always, I always admired her for that. I was just like, man, that is so dope. And my daughter, that's crazy. My daughter was born the year that she passed, and she's that way. She will
Mm-hmm.
literally put money in her purse and
Forget about it.
forget about it. I'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Girl, you good?" And then when we go shopping, she spend my money. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
That's how they do
Ursa's
that.
grandbaby for real.
That's
But
how they
but
do that.
it's good. But I did classes, do classes as well. I did an online class with my kids with a financial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
There's programs. They have free, this was a free non-for-profit program that did a class with my teenagers about saving.
Mm-hmm.
Look those up locally. You can find some online. You can sit right like me and Whitney is right now on a Zoom call,
Yeah.
and you can have a financial non-for-profit company teaching your kids. My kids know about banking, they know about saving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, They know about different financial things, bonds, all that, because you want to do that. We wasn't taught that. So it's our responsibility. Okay, now we're learning at late 20s, 30 years old about saving, about credit. We don't want our kids to learn that at late 20s, 30. We want to teach them
Right. Right.
now. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my goal. And with I have a 19-year-old, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching him. I'm building his credit right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if God be willing, please God, by the time he gets in his mid 20s, me and
Uh-huh.
him, we want to go into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So our goal is his credit to never be negative. His he our goal is to make his credit perfect. So
Right.
he's
And
the head.
another thing, I don't mean to cut you off, so go ahead
No,
and
you're
finish.
fine. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is we can put our kids on our credit cards while they're young. And that's what I'm about to do for Jazz. She's
An
14 now.
authorized user.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
So they built their credit. So when she turned 18, she can get a car. You know, she can get her an apartment. She can
Yep.
get what she want because she got credit already.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
That's another way.
Yep.
Or I'm not for sure about self and chime, but I don't know the age limit, but maybe even allowing them to get one of those prepaid services. Because I know my son,
Okay.
he has self, he's establishing credit because
Mm-hmm.
he's fresh. He's 19 years old. He's never did
Yeah.
anything on his credit. So going through those little companies and having your kid establish credit, as
Mm-hmm.
well as I stay on my son. I don't let him pay anything late, even if I have to
Right.
pay it for him and have him pay me back. Like, uh, credit is
Yep.
key. Like, you have to have perfect credit. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just telling Whitney earlier, like I just got up in the mid sixes, and I'm so proud of myself. Like, I've
Mm-hmm.
always been a early 500 girl. I
Yeah,
always.
yeah.
So for me to be in the mid sixes, less than 50 to 60 points from having excellent credit, like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
woo, you
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
I got me a new truck for my food truck, and my approval came back quick. I was like, wow, this has never happened. So
Tell me about it.
it's the importance, guys, of just disciplining yourself,
Yep.
um, saving money. I have multiple savings accounts,
Mm-hmm.
like multiple different saving things that I put money over here, I put money over there. Um, multiple streams of income,
Yes, that's very
multiple,
important. Very
multiple.
important.
So,
Yep.
and I'm steady building. I'm steady
Mm-hmm.
building. So while you're young, while you're able, while you're in
Mm-hmm.
your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, grind. Because if you grind
Yes.
right, by the time you get in your 50s, you could just be teaching. My goal by the time I get in my 50s is to be teaching the young ones under me. Hey, this is how you start this business. I mean, my
Mm-hmm.
goal, to tell you the truth, um, I'm launching the Nathan James Foundation. That foundation, we will be helping start small businesses, fund small businesses,
Mm-hmm.
reestablish credit. Uh, we're our goal is to own apartment buildings that's going to be transitional living for people
Yeah.
out of jail who's having a
Mm-hmm.
hard time in life. But while they're in our program, they're going to be in programs building their credit,
Mm-hmm.
starting businesses. We're going to be
Mm-hmm.
getting them jobs, helping them, taking percentages of their checks for them, helping them start businesses, start building their credit and things of that nature. So guys, look out for that too as well. My non-for-profit,
Mm-hmm.
the Nathan James Foundation.
That
Um
sounds great.
my goal is to get that started. I'm launching and finishing my food truck now. So my goal is once I get my food truck going the way I want, so I would say 3 to 5 years, then I'm gonna go into pushing the Nathan James Foundation, where
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was telling you about my son that's gonna be over the real estate. Um, trust. Have trust in wheels. We need trust in wheels. But let me finish this conversation. My son is going to be over our real estate division in our family Nathan James Foundation. that's going to be part of what he does. He's going to be
Mm-hmm.
owning and overseeing the Nathan James Foundation with the multi units in the transitional home. So guys, plan, build, save, wills and trust. I was just at this program last night.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share that with you guys. Please say yes, 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 yes. It's called United Credit Education Service. Look into it, guys. Let me see. I don't know if United Credit Education Service. They rebuild credit.
Mm-hmm.
They help with budgeting, credit building, credit attorneys, credit monitoring, debt payoff, uh, identity monitoring, just saving goals, wills and trust,
Mm-hmm.
um, legal documents. They do all kinds of stuff. So the Black community, this is a great resource. I just went to one of their meetings last night. Um,
So are they services free?
no,
Okay.
these are the prices.
Okay.
It's 189 to get started, but it's a credit repair service. But it's a credit repair service with a bang. I built it my credit myself,
Mm-hmm.
but if I didn't do it myself, I would have went through them,
Okay.
and I might just go through them for the will and trust because I am in a search for will and trust. So I'm on the borderline. Like, okay, I'm not gonna. Yes, I am gonna go through them because I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
through will and trust. So
What
I
is a
will
trust?
will
That
for
I don't really know much.
so a will is basically when something happens to me, I will have a will written out that my son would know. Okay, I am now the overseer of the businesses, and I split all our profits out evenly between me and my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, that's a will. It's basically a legal document that basically let everyone knows in the family what to do when you go, when you pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then a trust is a trust is basically something where can you Google real quick? But I believe
Yep,
a
I'm about
trust,
to.
yeah, I believe a trust is when you, and she just told me last night, I should have been paying attention in the class. A trust is basically where you have like all your assets and everything. Um, it's something like a will, and it has like a beneficiary. Did you find a definition yet?
Huh? It says a trust is a arrangement that allows a third party or trustee to hold assets on behalf of a beneficiary or beneficiaries.
Period.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, a will and trust is the same thing.
Okay,
A
yeah.
trust is more like when you have like assets in like the Nathan James Foundation and then the Nathan Sons Cafe and then the Sunshine Cleaning Service. Like when you have those businesses, the trust is more for that because you have somebody like a chairman or somebody that's a beneficiary that takes over it. So for
Mm-hmm.
mine, it would either be my son or one of my siblings. They would stand up and they would take over those that position as the president or the CEO. And then a will is just basically someone who owns a house or a car or a bank account. So basically, that's basically what the wills and trust is. But as people of color and brown, we have to get wills. We have to
Mm-hmm.
get trust as well. Yeah,
Yeah, most definitely we do.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Um, I mean, but other than that, is there anything else?
Making sure that we spend our money with black businesses for sure.
Bingo.
That's key. We have to recycle that dollar within our community and,
Absolutely.
stop spending our money with, all these other name brand companies, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, all that. Like they don't care if that we wear their clothes, but we spending all our money with them. Why?
Absolutely.
They
I
don't
mean,
even make nothing for us.
I wish I could have a
You know?
private I wish I could have a private meeting with all the rich people of color that waste all their monies on chains and Gucci and Chanel. And it's just like,
Yeah.
do you know? Like you literally could put your whole city on. Like you could literally purchase your whole community. You could own multi
Yes,
units, you
ma'am.
could own restaurants, and you could be the landlord to your people that you grew up with. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we could easily be playing winning in Monopoly if we stop wasting money on luxuries and
Mm-hmm.
start putting it into investment.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna have to just lead by example.
Most
You
definitely.
know, we're gonna have to, and our the '80s babies. You know, we're '80. You're '80s baby. So the '80s babies, we just gonna have to show them how it's done, and we're gonna have to literally start investing, start doing stocks and bonds, and uh building multi-trillion billion-dollar businesses, buying back
Yep.
up our communities, being the landlords. When they see it, sometimes it takes, we're from the show me,
Mm-hmm.
somebody to show them, it
Mm-hmm.
takes that.
Right.
Sometimes it takes that motivation. So,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of people at home like that I be seeing on social media that I'm connected with. They got their tow business, they got their trucking businesses. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
ladies have gotten to makeup and different things of that. So Kansas City, my for the hometown, they have gotten to entrepreneur heavy.
Yeah,
So it's
most definitely.
people of color all over, from the South especially. Don't be lazy, just eating your ham hocks and potatoes and going to church. Start your business. Start your businesses for you can leave
Yeah.
something for your grandkids and your great grandkids. Um, we got to get into entrepreneurship, stocks and bonds, um, trust and wills, building foundations, buying back our communities, renting and leasing to our community,
Mm-hmm.
buying from our community. I have an online herb store. Check me out, guys. I have teas. I have different things that's good for the body, help with diabetes, high blood pressure. Google, research natural herbs. Dr. Sabi, look him up. I'm a
Most
herbalist.
definitely.
Look him up. I
Yep.
have a lot of the herbs that all you have to do. This is what I do every day. And my skin, I don't know if y'all can see like how beautiful my skin is, how much my hair
Mm-hmm.
is beautiful. Like my body is very beautiful. I get up every morning. I drink my tea. I do some key lime and water, and I fast all day. And then at
Uh-huh.
dinner, I eat real good. Take care of your bodies. We're dying of diabetes,
Yes.
high blood pressure, congestive heart failure. Rest in peace to my late king. Um, we're vegetarian. Try to change your diet if you can, because the diet that we had was our slave diet, like
Most
chitlins, ham
definitely.
hocks. That stuff is the stuff that was thrown from the master's
Scraps.
table.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we have to re-educate ourselves, because health is our wealth. Because
Most
you can have
definitely.
all the money, and that's what happened with my husband. Like, if anybody know my story, if you know me on here, like me and my husband was doing good. We had
Mm-hmm.
multiple daycare centers, a cleaning service, and then we had just invested our money and started a restaurant. But my husband was in and out of the hospital. His heart was declining at a rapid rate, to the point where we had to sell and back out and focus on his health. He still passed. God rest his soul. Nathan James, I love you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But health is your wealth. You could build all the businesses you want, but if you're not taking care of your body, your temple, it'll give out on you. So I would say taking care of your health, eating right, not putting too much liquor, Not even put too much weed in your body, y'all. That weed now, it's not organic. I'm
Hmm.
sorry. It's not
Girl.
organic, y'all. It have you having psychosis, paranoia, like it's not organic weed unless you growing your weed from home.
Mm-hmm.
And then money wise, financially, it's just not wise. I did used to love being a stoner. I used to be a heavy stoner, but when it started legalizing, I started learning like this stuff is not the same. When I was a little kid
Mm-hmm.
back in the early 2000s, smoking weed, you can stop smoking. You can smoke and then stop smoking a week later. Now you can't. It's like something's in it that makes you want it more.
Mm-hmm.
Then it has like a cap where you stop getting high. And I'm like, well, I ain't never stopped getting high off of weed. You get high, you get high.
Right.
But
That sounds crazy.
yes, this new stuff, guys, being a baby from the 80s, I was around when it was organic. It's not the same. So why
Mm.
waste your money? Why
Yeah.
waste your money? Keep your money. Invest your money. And if you do want to get into the marijuana industry, grow organic. That's where the money will be.
Yeah.
Because sooner or later, people will get tired of the GMO weed.
Right.
So, I would just say your health, everything I just listed, take care of yourself, um, start forgiving family members and peers. You know, I forgive everyone I grew up with. I hope they forgive me if I ever did anything wrong to them. I love everybody. I send positive energy out to everybody. We got to start being more loving. We got to, like my husband said before he died, you have to look at your brother or your sister and be like, I can't kill him. That's my brother. I can't kill her.
Right.
That's my sister. We have to
Right.
start looking like that no matter what they did to you. You have to forgive and let it go, because what you're doing is you're helping somebody that already hates you eliminate people that you know what I'm saying? Like we already have people that don't like us because of the color of our skin.
Mm-hmm.
Help destroy, why help? Like why self-destruct? So I would
Yeah.
just say the way to build back up our generational wealth is those things that I said, and just self-love, self-healing, focusing, getting discipline, and entrepreneurship for
Most
sure.
definitely. And another thing that I wanted to state too is not letting the kids leave the home without having financial stability, without being mentally stable,
Yeah.
and without having a plan.
Yeah.
Because basically they're just going to fall. They're going to either come back, or either they're going to be out here doing crazy things and, just messing up,
Yep.
or having that they hand out for the government.
Yep.
The single
Yep.
moms,
Yep.
when mothers put their daughters out for getting pregnant, they have no guidance. They don't know what they're doing. I think that's the worst thing you can actually do. And that
Yep.
hurts us in the community, because that mom is mentally disturbed because she doesn't know what she's doing. She's out here, might end up with a man that's not good for her, have a
Mhm.
lot of problems, and those problems are going to be projected on her child. And
Yep.
then that's going to cause generational issues of mental health
Yep.
and poverty.
Yep.
So don't kick your kids out before they're financially stable and have a
Yeah.
sound mind and a plan for their life,
For sure.
because that does break our generational wealth.
Yeah.
If that family did have anything, to begin with, that's just breaking generational wealth,
Yep.
especially if
Absolutely.
they're going into poverty.
Yep. Absolutely. And I
Yeah,
would say, mental health. Go see a therapist.
most definitely. We're
I
gonna
did.
do a whole segment on that, honey, because I got a lot to say on
We
that.
are. We are. But I think that our mental health, especially in the inner city, Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, all the ghetto areas, we have so much undealt with trauma that
Yeah,
somebody look at us wrong, we snap.
yeah,
Somebody say something to us wrong, we snap. We
Mm-hmm.
assume things, we snap. So I would say go to therapy, talk to someone. You don't even have to go. Now they have it where you don't even have to go in nobody's office. Like you could talk to someone like this via Zoom. You could do it in the privacy of your bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
and just talk to someone, get coping mechanism, uh step out of your box, do new things. I
Mm-hmm.
live I live on the west, so I go like to mountains, I go to parks, I go to museums, I go listen to jazz music, do new things, step out of the box. I go to different historic sites all over the West Coast, from Hoover Dam to the beaches to the Grand Canyon. Like, learn new things, do new things. Like, that helps you heal.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of staying in that little box of gangster, ride or die chick, crit cuz blood, uh got
Mm-hmm.
my blunt, got my drink. Like, you in this
Girl,
little
yes.
box and you not
Yes.
expanding, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So expand your mind, expand your environment, go
Most
travel,
definitely. Yeah.
you know, link up with your mom and your auntie, rent out a van, go on a road trip. Go
Mm-hmm.
3, 4 days, go down to Mississippi, go to the beautiful lakes in Arkansas, like even
Mm-hmm.
in Missouri. It's so much beautiful stuff. Go to Branson, they have Silver Dollar City. Uh, um, in Chicago, they have so many beautiful lakes and waters, and just it's different, natural, beautiful stuff. The Lake of the Ozarks, me and my husband, oh, we love the Lake of the Ozarks. They have
Mm-hmm.
Osage Beach. Like, you go fishing, you could just go chill by the lake, you could get you a boat, just relax. It's not always about getting high and drinking. Like, learn to expand as a community. So that's what I would say to the black people and the people of color, even for the Latinos and Mexicans. Put that liquor down. So much tequila and beer and 40s and cognac and weed. Like, we spend all our money on getting intoxicated.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, like, we have to really, like, diligently push back that stuff and
Mm-hmm.
focus on business, our health, our wealth, our children.
Yep.
While we getting drunk and high, our kids, they just in the shadows.
Yep.
Take your kids to Disney World. Take your kids on trips. Spring break, winter break. Even if you just go an hour away, do something
Mm-hmm.
with your kids. Give them
Most
memories.
definitely.
Build that generational memory where they kids can do those things. So that's what I say. That's what we can do.
Yeah.
Um, get mental help. If you know you've been through a lot of trauma, stress,
Mm-hmm.
get some help. But we will have an episode on the black community and mental health and healing from things that
Most definitely.
generational. So, is there anything else you want to speak on, or is that
No, I
about
think
it?
that's about it. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, thank you for tuning in on Let a Black Woman Speak on It. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I think I said all of them. Instagram at Let a Black Woman Speak on It, as well as Anchor on our podcast. Thank you guys. You guys be good. Have a good one.